SEO, or search engine optimization, is a technique that you can apply to content that you create to get it to rank on searchable platforms. In case you don't know, occupying the #1 spot on Google for a keyword that's relevant to your industry not only earns you bragging rights, but can actually help generate hundreds, if not thousands, of leads for your business. But I know SEO can be a little intimidating, especially if you're new, so in today's video, I'm going to share the top 5 things to know about SEO as a beginner. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Austen and I am a fashion and beauty content creator based in New York City. I use this channel to help micro-influencers create great content, grow their digital brands, and earn sustainable income from content creation. So if any of that interests you, please do consider subscribing to my channel for new videos every Tuesday. If you've been a follower of mine for a while, you may know that I actually started my blog, Keep Calm and Chiffon, in 2012, almost 10 years ago. And it's safe to say there have been several eras of, let's just say, evolution for my blog. It started out almost like a glorified lookbook, if any of you remember that platform, where I would share a photo and post a very short description either about the outfit or about what I did that day. It did then evolve into me writing more posts that were helpful to my readers and service-oriented as soon as I started interning and then later working at magazines. And even though I had been publishing around a post a week for almost 8 years, my blog was still small. I was very happy to have the readers that I did, but I felt like I should have seen more growth. Over the summer of 2020, when I found myself with a lot of extra time on my hands, I finally started doing a deep dive into SEO, and wow, was it a game changer. I knew I was a good writer, but I wasn't necessarily writing for search, and SEO became a big missing piece of my blog that I was able to solve and grow my traffic substantially. 2 years later, after starting my SEO journey, I have more than tripled my page views on my blog, and I now really focus on quality over quantity of content. Not only that, but I even qualified for an ad network, the She Media Collective, where I can actually start earning money from ads on my blog. Before you actually start learning and implementing SEO, I feel like you really need to understand it just from a conceptual standpoint so that you know what you're getting into. And that's why I'm creating this video, because I really want to answer the question why SEO matters before you even start looking up keyword research. Let's get into the top 5 things to know about SEO as a beginner. Okay, so first of all, SEO is an extremely powerful tool. As I alluded to in the introduction of this video, SEO and ranking on the first spot of Google can do amazing things for your business. Not just because you are ranking #1, but because think about what that means when someone actually goes to search for something on Google. I don't know about you guys, but Google's algorithm is extremely impressive to me, so far to the point that I rarely have to go past the first 3 search results to really find what I initially searched for. And as a result of this, that means that there is fierce competition to get those first few spots and actually get those click-throughs to your website. If you have a blog, the more readership you have and the more page views you have, the more potential revenue you can earn later on from ads. SEO is extremely important, but sometimes it can fall on the back burner, especially when you have shiny things in front of you like TikTok and Instagram Reels now, where you can post a video and have a viral moment that feels really good and feels really exciting. But of course, if you're hosting on an algorithm-controlled platform, you need to continuously feed the algorithm. With a searchable platform, though, the lifespan of your content is a lot longer, and articles that you wrote like 2, 3, 4, even 5+ years ago can still rank really high in Google. Think about what it would mean to you to basically put your lead generation and your ad revenue from your website traffic all on autopilot and just have it continually bring you in money from ads and also leads for your business or new customers for your products or services. You will get time back, you will see a larger return on the investment of this type of content that you're creating, and it'll give you more creative freedom and more time to focus on what you actually are passionate about and not just how to get people to even find you in the first place. The second thing to know about SEO is in almost all cases, SEO really is a long game, meaning that it will take more time to see results than it will take for you to, say, start building an audience on a platform like TikTok. Again, it may be very easy to create a video that happens to go viral on TikTok, but the question about that viral video you should be asking as a creator is, what did that really get me? Maybe it gave you a bump in followers, which could be good. Was it a long video where they really got to know you though? Or was it maybe a trend or a really short video that they watch once and then never come back for more? When I go back and look at my blog analytics from the time I started my SEO journey, it did take me about 6 months to start seeing real results over time from SEO. So you do have to be willing to be patient, put in the work, and keep up with it, because if you don't do that and you write 1 or 2 posts and then ditch it, it's not really going to do its job, because the more content that you're creating on a consistent basis about whatever it is that you create content about, the more information you're giving Google's algorithm so that it can get to know you, categorize your site accordingly, and show it to the people who it would be most relevant to. That leads us in nicely to the third thing I want you to know about SEO, which is a very broad overview of how Google's algorithm actually works. Now, don't freak out, I'm not going to get too nitty-gritty in this video, although if you do want a more in-depth explanation of what I'm talking about today in regards to SEO, my SEO masterclass is coming next month, so be sure to check the link down below in the description box to sign up for the waitlist to get more information about my masterclass. Okay, but back to the algorithm. So there is a 3-letter acronym that I think will give you a better idea of how Google's algorithm works, and that algorithm is EAT, which makes me kind of hungry. So what do the 3 letters in EAT stand for? They stand for expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And like I said, there's a lot more to this algorithm, but just knowing this in a general sense already tells you a lot about the type of content that Google values from the sites that it recommends to its readers. And I think this is where I and a lot of my other fellow creators in lifestyle niches, or people who talk about maybe more than one topic, have struggled in terms of getting people to really read our websites, is because sometimes we're talking about lots of different things. I have posts on my blog about trips I've taken on vacation, I have beauty reviews, I have fashion shopping guides, and when you're publishing all of that content, when you're still a small new site in the grand scheme of the whole internet, it can be kind of hard for Google to figure out exactly what your site is about. And I think one big reason I didn't understand this very early on is because I come from the magazine world. And if you go to any women's magazine and look at their website, you know, let's take Elle, for example, they have a fashion section, a beauty section, a travel section. Why not do everything? And by the way, you can do everything if you want to, but if you want to grow with search, I would focus on what Google's algorithm really wants, which is to give credit to sites and give more visibility to sites that demonstrate expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness on certain topics. So these women's magazines, these legacy brands, a lot of them have been around for 20 or more years, and they do have notoriety because they have big readership. They do have trustworthiness and authority because they have editors who specialize in all of these topics. But when you're just one person, if you do want to grow on Google, it will be a big benefit to you to, quote, niche down. So I think it really depends on what your goal and your strategy is with your blog. If you just want your blog to be a place where readers can come and get to know more about what you think on tons of different topics, that's completely up to you. If you are looking to really scale and grow your traffic with SEO so that you can qualify for an ad network, autopilot part of your business, this is where niching down will really benefit you. So I have even taken my site and niched it down as far as I can to still incorporating fashion and beauty content where I can, but really focusing on the industry side of things, the content creation side of things, and making that what I am telling Google I am an expert in. I think I used this example in a recent video, but it's just the first one that I think of and the one that I think makes this point really clear, which is maybe instead of starting a food blog, you're just starting a cheese board blog or a charcuterie blog or something that is a little bit more specific. And of course, you have to actually really like whatever you choose to zone in on. But I love following Instagram accounts that have cheese boards and charcuterie as kind of the main thing that they do. And I will often go to their blogs. I even bought the cheese board deck from one of the creators that I follow on Instagram. So I ultimately bought a product from her as well. So to summarize, if you are really interested in growing and scaling your blog and your traffic, you have to pay attention to Google's algorithm. That brings me to the fourth thing I think you should know about SEO as a beginner, which is that, believe it or not, you are being graded. You are being graded by Google or any other search engine that you might use, and that grade is referred to as domain authority. So every single website on the internet has a domain authority. If you want to check yours, there is a free keyword research tool called Moz, M-O-Z. You can sign up for Moz and create a free account and search for what your website is, and if you use the Google Chrome plugin, it will display the domain authority of any website on the search engine results page. So you can go and check and see what your domain authority is. Domain authority is graded on a scale of 0 to 100. Okay, so it is kind of like school, which can be a little intimidating. But having a low domain authority isn't necessarily bad. For example, if you just created a brand new website yesterday or last week, your domain authority is almost certainly 0. I believe the domain authority of my blog, at least the last I checked, is a 28, and domain authorities on the higher end, close to 100, are websites like the New York Times or YouTube. So there are a few different factors that go into what determines your score and your domain authority, and I'm going to list them for you now. But again, if you want to go more in depth on any of these topics, I will be covering this in my SEO masterclass. Okay, so as I just sort of alluded to, time is certainly one factor. How long has your site been around? Readability is another factor. So if you are, I don't know why anyone would do this, but if you're using like an orange font on a purple background and it has lots of curly cues in it and it's really hard to read, and not just hard for people to read, but also hard for Google to scan and understand what your site is about, that can hurt you domain authority wise. Another big one is the quality of your content. This is why I will probably not publish a blog post ever again that is fewer than 500 words, because I really want to give as much information as I can to go really in depth and give people what they're looking for when they do stumble across a blog post of mine. This is also why I'm not just going to write any old blog post about the first thing that pops into my head without doing keyword research and validating that it is something people are searching for. Another factor is originality, and of course, if you are publishing your own original content on a consistent basis, that is the best case scenario. You can of course reference other articles or stories or blogs out there, but it's really important to make sure that you are creating and sharing original content. Another factor is having clean site structure, so thinking about the menu options on your website and making sure that it's really easy and clear to direct people to where they need to be on your site. And the last thing is backlinks. So that goes back to the authoritativeness part of the EAT algorithm with Google, where you are starting to build authority when other people also start referencing you, linking back to your website or linking back to a post that you published. So there are a few different methods for getting backlinks. I do think I talk about backlinks a little bit more in this video right here. So that is more about growing traffic. I will link to that video down below in case you'd like to go check it out. But those are 6 things that you are being graded on when Google or any other search engine is scanning your site to decide how to rank it. And the 5th and final thing I want you to know about SEO is it's not just for blogs. You can take SEO knowledge and apply it to other searchable platforms like Pinterest and YouTube, of course. And you can even search for different topics on platforms like TikTok and Instagram. TikTok has pretty good search. Typically, if you type in a keyword on TikTok, other relevant videos will populate. And in the past, Instagram's search has been heavily categorized by hashtags, but it sounds like Instagram is making strides to improve the SEO on their platform, which I think is long overdue and totally necessary in order to keep up with platforms like TikTok and YouTube. So I am definitely curious. I haven't talked about this anywhere else yet, but I'm definitely curious to kind of start working some keywords into my Instagram captions and see if it helps me with reaching a larger audience. So if you guys end up trying that, please leave me a comment and let me know how it goes for you. Creating searchable content certainly does take more time, energy, and effort, especially when you are prepping that content. But again, once it's published and out there, it can continue to serve you and bring you new subscribers, viewers, readers, all the time without you really having to do much about it. I hope this video gave you a better understanding of what SEO is, how it works, and how it can benefit your business. I'll be sure to leave links to any relevant videos down below in the description box, and of course you can learn more in my masterclass. Thank you again so much for watching today's video. If you're new here, please do consider subscribing to my channel for new videos every Tuesday. You can also turn on the notifications so that you never miss a video from me, and also please do give me a thumbs up down below if you found this helpful. Thank you again for watching, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!